Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today guys, I will be teaching you all you need to know on how to drive a quadratic formula without stress. You don't need to cram it, you don't need to struggle with yourself, you don't need to be pushing your head from here and there. You will just understand it without any having complication with it. So guys, let's start it. So guys, this is quadratic, the normal formula for quadratic equation. We have a x squared plus b x plus c is equal to 0. This is the general way of writing quadratic trinity equation. So guys, let's start how to drive it so that you will know what it takes to drive quadratic equation without stressing yourself, without having complication. This lesson is for teachers who are still having challenges on how to drive quadratic equation and students who want to improve their understanding. So guys, please help me and turn on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So let's start guys. So as I explained in my method of completing square, the completing square method, guys, is the same way you can drive quadratic formula without having issue. So now, the first method I explained, divide the coefficient of x squared throughout. So we're going to divide the coefficient of x squared. So divide the coefficients of x squared from the left hand of of the equation. So now divide throughout, divide throughout the coefficient of x squared from the left hand of the equation. So now the coefficient of x squared is a is a coefficient of x squared. So now we are going to divide it from both, from each term of the equation. So that is x squared divided by a plus b x all over a plus c all over a. That gives us 0. That is the first method guys. And the second, so now a, take care of a, we have x squared plus b all over ax, b all over ax plus c all over a is equal to 0. So guys, now as I explained in the method of completing square method, we are going to take this constant to the right hand side, and y is going to the right hand side, the sign revise to negative. So now x squared b all over a x is equal to minus c all over a, because this sign has revised to minus because of crossing the inequality sign. So in mathematics, when you're taking a quantity or a number to cross an inequality sign to the other side of the equation, the sign changes. So that is why we're having minus sign, which is minus c all over a as the constant now, because we have taken it to the other side and the sign changes to minus sign. So guys, The second method now we are going to apply is we are going to divide, we are going to add the half coefficient of x. And what is the coefficient of x here? The coefficient of x is this. Know the difference between x squared and x. If I'm talking about x squared, I mean this, but if I'm talking about x, I mean this one here. So the coefficient of x here is b all over a, and we are going to add the half square, add the half square of the coefficients of x, and the coefficient of x is b all over a. So we are going to add this, the half square, and as I explained before, the half square of this coefficient of x is half square, that is b all over a divided by 2, that is you are going to take half of it, then what, square, and half squared means b all over a dividing 2, and this is the same thing as b all over a times 1 all over 2 because of the reciprocal, and this is the same thing as b all over 2a square, and this will now give us b square all over 4a square, because everything inside the bracket is going to carry this square. So b carry its own square, 2 square is 4, and a square is 2, a square is a square. So now guys, this is the half square coefficient of x. So since we know it to be this, we are now going to add it. So that is x squared plus b all over a x plus b squared all over 4a squared is equal to minus c all over a plus b squared all over 4a squared. So now, so since we now know the half square of the coefficient of x, we will now simplify everything together. And if you look at this, the left hand side of the equation, you will discover that this has formed a complete perfect square equation. What do I mean by a perfect square equation? A perfect equation is an equation that have double roots, that is, it has double roots. When you factorize it, that is, the left hand side is x squared plus b all over ax plus b square all over 4a square. If you take the square root of x squared, x2, the square remove square root, you have x, and if you take the square root of b squared all over 4a squared square root, you discover that square remove square root, you have b all over 2a. So now when we multiply x times b all over 2a, we will now have b all over 2a x, but mind you, you are going to multiply it by 2 to be able to form this middle term. So now if you multiply it by 2, this 2 here will cancel 2, and you have b all over a x, and this is exactly the middle term. So which means this left hand side is a example of perfect square equation. So since we know that the left hand side is an example of perfect square equation, if you don't understand perfect square equation, revise, go back to my lesson which I explained perfect square equation. You'll be able to know what I have explained in that lesson to follow up. That is why I say before you know this derivation of quadratic equation, you should be able to understand perfect square equation. So if you don't understand, go back to my former lesson. So now, since our left hand side is example of perfect square equation, we're now going to put it in that format, which is x plus b all over 2a all square, and this is equal to, and this other side too, we are going to simplify it by saying, we'll simplify this by saying, because the LCM here is 4a squared, that's the LCM. So in finding the LCM simple way, you are going to make this other side to have 4ax squared as your this other side too. So in doing that, you are going to multiply both up and down, the numerator and denominator, by 4a. So if you multiply numerator and denominator with 4a, you are going to have this. So that will be minus 4ac all over 4a squared plus b squared. This is what you will now have. So now, once you have this, you are going to, as I explained, you are going to take the square roots from both sides. So taking the square roots, we have square root of square root of x b all over 2a is equal to square root, so we can rearrange this as b square all over 4a square minus 4ac is the same thing. So such that square will remove square root, and we have x plus b all over 2a is equal to, so in taking square root, that brings about plus or minus. So we now have plus or minus square root. So now, square root of everything here, we still have that b square. Numerator, we cannot take the square root, so we just have b square minus 4ac, but the numerator has square root, so it's now square root of 4a square will give us 2a, because square root of a square is a, square root of 4 is 2. So now guys, since we have it, we now take x is equal to, we're going to move this to the left hand side. That will give us minus b all over 2a plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. But since 2a and 2a are the common denominator, we can further say x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root b square minus 4ac all over 2a. And this is the general formula of quadratic equation. We still call it the almighty formula of quadratic equation. So guys, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Follow me for more good videos like this. Thank you. I know you enjoy me. I'm sure you enjoy me. Bye.